Hi, Jodi. How are you?
I am good, Diana. How are you?
I'm wonderful. So today I'm talking with Jodi Silverman, who's a coach and a mentor. She has an amazing organization called Moms Who Dare. She is all about supporting women to live through an exciting midlife chapter of life and living through the empty nest period. So she has a community. She coaches and she creates all sorts of fun experiences and helps her members and followers to get to understand the secrets of how to make the next chapter of life full of meaning and purpose, fulfillment, and fun. So I am excited to have Jodi tell us a little bit about her life. The first question I'd love to ask you, Jodi, is, for all of us, there tends to be a moment, an aha, an experience that triggers a transition into creating what we'll call our third act. So I'd love to understand a little bit about yours.
Yeah, no, and I love sharing it because I do believe at the heart of everything, we are all so much more alike than we are different, Diana.
Mhm.
And I love what you're doing here because in all of our stories, we can see a glimmer of ourselves somewhere in every woman's story. So it was about 10 years ago. I will be 56 as of the recording within like 10 days. So I
Yay.
was about 45 years old. My oldest was a senior in high school, getting ready to graduate. My youngest was a freshman in high school. My oldest is my daughter. She's now 27, and my son is now 24.
Mm.
But I remember I worked for a year. I was working in a small little tennis pro shop that I played tennis out of. They needed help. It was for about a year. And I had my own business, actually. I had my own print brokering business. But due to some circumstances, I needed a change of pace. I needed to get up and go somewhere every day, not just work from my house. So I said yes. It's a very small pro shop tucked away behind in the back of a neighborhood. And in the spring and summer, it's a swim club. So it's a little more active. But in the fall, winter, it's dead. And you only go there if you have a reason to go there. So a lot of times, many days that I worked in my shift, I would find myself alone in this quiet space. You could watch TV, I could bring my computer. And it was about 10 years ago, and it was probably fall or winter. I can't pinpoint the exact time, but I remember though, and I can see myself, and I can remember feeling the feeling I felt. I was sitting in the quiet space, alone with my thoughts. I had been reading some books. I wasn't a real big reader, but some people suggested books. And I remember in a specific moment asking myself and wondering quietly, not even outside, looking around saying, okay. And my business was a commercial print brokering business. I sold
Mhm.
commercial printing. And I remember sitting there in this tennis pro shop, very quiet, thinking, all right, so Ellie's going to be graduating. Daniel is going to get his license, which, as far as I'm concerned, is the first step to independence. Right,
Absolutely.
mom, no more driving back and forth. And soon both of them are going to be out of the house onto their next step, which for them was college. And if all I have left when they're gone to fill this empty space is this current business, is that enough?
Mm.
I remember thinking that. And I also remember thinking, oh, hell no. I'm like, no, I don't want to sell printing the rest of my life. And everything just started from that moment. Like it was like a snowball. Asked the question. I said, hell no. And then I thought, wait a minute, who am I not to think that what I have is enough? I got to start my own business years ago that allowed me to be more present in my kids' life while still keeping my toes in the business world, dealing with adults, making an income. I'm married to an incredible husband. My kids were thriving. I have family, I have friends, I have community. Who am I to think that what I'm doing is not enough? It's not
Mm.
fulfilling. And all of this is going through my head. And yet I still sat there saying, no, there was just something like in that gut here, right here, between here and the gut, that I just knew that there was something else, Diana, I was meant to be doing.
Mm.
In that moment of asking the question, answering hell no, and then shaming myself and feeling badly for it, I also came to the realization that my hell no was not being happy or fulfilled as the wife, as the mom, as the sister, as the friend. It had everything and only anything to do with me, with Jodi and what Jodi wanted and Jodi felt. And that I was allowed to want something more outside of all that, in addition to all of that.
Yeah. That's that point in our lives
Yeah.
when most of us have not allowed ourselves to unearth our own personal dreams. We're always supporting and caring for, whether it be in our workplace or in our family life, other people's needs and dreams. And so, but difference between the sort of drive you had in some people is they do get stuck and they do wonder, which, not to go directly into Moms Who Dare, but tell me a little bit about the why behind that and what you're doing with Moms Who Dare.
Yeah, well, what I allowed myself to do, because I had no idea what it all meant, where I was going to go, what I was going to do. I just knew there was something else.
Yeah.
And I just allowed it to be. And by allowing it to be and not beating myself up for not knowing, not feeling frustrated for not knowing, I was presented with a business opportunity by two of my girlfriends, a network marketing business, an MLM.
Yeah.
Never say never, ladies. Never say never, Diana, because I said yes. I sat there and looked at this business plan. I thought, this makes sense. What I didn't know, and I'm getting to the Moms Who Dare, what I didn't know about direct sales or multi-level marketing, however you want to label it. And I worked it hard for 5 years. I loved it. I thrived. What I didn't know was the world of personal growth that opened through that venue, through the direct sales channel. Any direct sales organization, any MLM you're a part of, they are huge proponents of personal growth. The good books, the good speakers, the Jim Rohns, the Darren Hardys, the Brene Brown, Liz Gilberts. And all of a sudden, I'm back in school, the school that speaks to me, the mindset work, the unearthing of, oh my God, that's why I have felt this way for so long. That's what that fear is. That's what that limiting belief is. And I thought, I didn't know I had fears and limiting beliefs. I just thought, I didn't even think.
You had belief. Yeah. That's it. That's what it is.
Yeah. And part of what was brought into my life and in my world in that journey and saying yes to that opportunity was being introduced to life coaches. They would bring in, every company has a women empowerment group just for the women. And we would have events and they would hire a high level, well-known life coach. And I thought, gosh, I want to know what it's like to go through life coach training, maybe, and just for myself, for my own skills. Now, keep in mind, this is a 5-year journey in the direct sales organization through the personal growth, going to conference, saying yes to conferences, stepping out of my comfort zone. And it was exciting. Even my husband, within the first month or two, it's like you're like reborn again. You have this new energy. I had this new energy about me. I was being stretched, and the fear and the excitement were like going hand in hand. And I was introduced to coaching, and I decided, you know what? I'm going to go through some coach training. I'm going to become a certified life coach. And you know what I'm going to do, Diana? I am going to support other moms who are about to hit empty nest, because my friends were all literally saying, oh, and it was only our oldest that were going off. We still had 1 or 2 kids at home, but yet every one of my friends was saying how sad they were going to be, cry, it was going to be terrible. And I'm like, no, I'm going to miss my daughter. It's not sad. It's amazing. And I'm having so much fun, and I want you to have fun. So I went through life coach training, and I knew from the get-go, it was all going to be about a community, not necessarily one-on-one coaching. Yeah. And I sat in a room with 10 other people in this training, and every one of them was either there to build a one-to-one practice or to bring coaching within the organization that they were currently working. And they got to me, I said, all I know is it's moms and it's community. I just don't know how. And it was when I found myself at one of these conferences that I said yes to going by myself locally, about 300 women in the room. The keynote speaker was Lou Ann Kahn. Anybody from Philadelphia knows that she's an 8-time Emmy award-winning journalist from Philly. And in my goodie bag for attending the conference was her book, I Dare Me, how I did something new every day for a year to get unstuck. And she's on that stage. And I have one of those moments. Tell me if you don't, you can.
Oh, yeah.
Where she was only talking to me. There was like nobody else in that room in that moment. And in that moment, I thought she named exactly how I felt, daring. And I sat in the room, I said, oh my gosh, I'm a mom who dares. We're going to be moms who dare. And we're going to do new things together. And we're going to add personal growth to it. And we're going to make new friends. And that's how Moms Who Dare was born.
Oh my gosh, that's magical. You know, what's so wonderful about it is this silent moment in the pro shop where your dreams, started to coalesce. You didn't know exactly what it was, but you let that go and you were led to it. Where it came to you along the way. So many people try to make a business plan out of their life, right? And try to come up with the destination instead of seeing that the journey and the path we take is always going to shift midstream into something we'd never have imagined. That's really wonderful.
I'm turning a corner again in my business, in my community, in the membership. But it was the power of silence, being alone with your thoughts. And what I have since learned from a dear friend of mine who has a company called Courage to be Curious. She's all about curiosity and questions. The power of just asking a question. And it was a simple question. If all I have left to do with my new space and time when my kids are gone is this print business, is that really going to be fulfilling? Is that going to be enough? No. And then let it land and sit with it.
Yeah. And give yourself the grace to let it unfurl or be uncovered as it does. So Jodi, you do so much with your community, and I'm sure every woman you speak with, whether in your groups or your events and your community, it's inspirational for them. And as you help them get unstuck. But I want to ask you a question and sort of raise yourself up on your chair as you reveal what you would call, I asked the question, what is the bumper sticker you would design that would embrace or encapsulate your philosophy of life? And that is?
Dare on, and it's tattooed on my wrist.
Oh, in case the shirt is in the washer.
In case I forget, it's always with me. It became the way I started signing off my emails. Dare on, Jodi, dare on, dare on. And really, dare on is a mantra. For those of you that know, mantras are words or phrases that help you get in the right mindset, empower, motivate you, remind you of where you want to go, how you want to act, how you want to be. And dare on, I tell people, if you allow it, you may use dare on, take dare on. And if you allow it, it will let you and remind you to continue to dare on, to dream big, persevere through life challenges and life transitions we're all going to have. And we know so many challenges come up in midlife, right?
Yes.
You'll let it fuel your adventures. It can do all of that for you.
Yeah.
So,
leaps of faith. Beautiful, land in beautiful places.
Yeah, daring on through your fears. I heard Viola Davis recently interviewed by Hoda Kotb about her book, which is a book I'm going to be reading soon. And she was asked, how did you, all your fear, Viola, how did you, overcome and move through your fear? And she goes, well, that's it. It's all about keep moving. And when she said that, I'm like, that's what daring on is. It's about moving. It's about one step at a time. And it doesn't mean dare on doesn't mean grandiose things. It's my fun play on words. It just means keep moving, take one step forward. keep moving, take another step forward. So dare on is my bumper sticker. It's my license plate.
Oh, I love it. So I look forward to having you share your story in the Third Act Quest Stories live event. And thanks so much for your time today, Jodi. Dare on.
Thanks, Diana. Yes, dare on.